Hello everyone and welcome back to Pokémon FireRed. We're doing a little bit of an anniversary playthrough here, celebrating the 30th anniversary of Pokemon as a franchise. We're using FireRed because that's what Nintendo wanted to use, or Game Freak or whomever. They gave us FireRed and Leaf Green. We've done a couple of episodes of this so far. We have one badge. One a badge. We fix the frame. It's been a busy day, let me tell you, folks. I'm getting ready to go on a trip, and as such, I'm trying to prepare enough content so that you guys have stuff to watch while I'm gone, just in case I can't stream when I get there. I am going to take my equipment with me. Obviously, I'm not taking my computer and my monitor and all that shit, but I'm going to take the laptop and whatever else. Okay. So since we are playing red, and since we chose Charmander, it would behoove us to go fight everyone up here on this route before trying to tackle Misty. Because she's gonna clean our clocks. And I see this damn thing is still not. You're trying my patience, Mr. Frame Glow. I just wanted to have a little extra flair. I wanted it to look nice. What's this old geezer got to say? Oh yeah, he just wants to tell you about the badges. No spank you. We have a journey to continue. Trying to raise Magikarp. Uh-oh. Haircuts here. Pidgeotto. Magikarp. Immediately switch. That did nothing. Thundershoot. Over the years, I've seen a few stories come out here and there about people who, I saw one story. I'm not sure what year it was or how long. It's been a hot minute. Sometime in the last decade, sometime in the last 4 or 5 years even. I guess a Toys R Us was closing or some sort of store was closing. And when they took down all of the shelves, they found unopened booster packs of Pokemon cards that were over 20 years old from the 90s. And I thought, wow, you don't have any idea how much those suckers are worth. Tell me I have potions. I don't have potions. But yeah, that happens sometimes. You'll hear stories here and there about people who stumble on a storage shed or something that has old Pokemon packs in it. I would like to open those just for the novelty and the fun of it. I wouldn't care about, collecting them or how much they're worth or any of that kind of stuff. Because honestly, that ship has sailed for me personally. Even if I were a millionaire, I don't think I could spend exorbitant amounts of money on collectibles like that. I just don't have that kind of personality. You know what I mean? But it is neat to see when people find them, though. It brings back happy memories from back in the day. Pokemon cards today, though, have kind of gotten out of hand. Like, I had already kind of fallen off the Pokemon card bandwagon. But at this point, scalpers make it to where it's impossible. You can't get into it as a hobby anymore. It sucks. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is, I definitely prefer the original, or I would say from generation 1 to maybe about generations 4 and 5. Those were the sweet spots for Pokemon cards. But then again, the X and Y era of Pokemon cards were also really good, in my opinion. That's where I learned how to actually play the card game instead of just collecting them. Now, my friend and I, we went crazy. We spent all our money on Pokemon cards. We traded in a bunch of our games and stuff to GameStop just to get the money to buy Pokemon cards. We were counting pennies and change just to go to Walmart and buy booster packs of Pokemon cards. We got real into it. But we were playing the game. We weren't doing it because we were collecting them to put them in a notebook and then put that notebook on a shelf somewhere. We were doing it specifically with the intention of like playing the game. And we played like every day. It was our obsession. You know, he'd drive to my house. We'd set up at the coffee table and we'd lay all our stuff out and we'd play. Damn it. I wanted to go up here and train my Pokemon, but bitch face has gotten in my way. I'm gonna punch her Squirtle. That didn't do a lot. God damn it. I'm so sick of Pokemon attacks missing. Fucking bullshit. Fucking bullshit. Ooh, crit hit. Well, looks like it's up to you, Clefairy. Hound. Are you kidding me? This some bullshit. This some straight up bullshit. Damn, we're so close to Magikarp knowing an attack, too. And I don't have any potions. He still has Abra. But I think it only knows teleport. So I think we're good. We beat him. By the hair on our chinny chin chin. Mmm. Oh, he came back. Chatty gossip like us. Oh yeah, they gave Red a voice. Red has never spoken in the history of Pokemon. But for whatever reason, they're adding Red 96 edition of Red to Pokemon Masters EX, and they gave him voice acting. Don't do that. Don't do that. You ruined a billion childhoods when you did that. I don't know who's in charge of those decisions, but you fucked up. You had one job and you fucked up. You fucked up. Yes, you really fucked up. Ba-da-da-da-da. Yes, you really fucked up. Ba-da-ba-ba-bow. So I don't have any TMs to teach anything to anybody. Can we at least buy some potions? I can't believe that we beat him like that. We barely squeaked by. Give me some potions. Now take a few Pokeballs. Wow. But yeah, I had some leftover Pokemon cards. Even after my friend moved away, I kept a handful of special cards because they did like a 20th anniversary thing for Pokemon, and they released all of these sets, like legendary booster packs and sets, and they were doing all these themed decks and large like box sets of cards. And I remember buying most, if not all of them at the time, and I held on to all those cards. I gave them to Tiffany, Tyler's wife. She still collects Pokemon cards like it's going out of style. So I ended up giving what I had left to her. So now I no longer have any Pokemon cards left. And again, for me, like I said, I feel that era has passed for me. I'm much more content just playing the games, you know, and every now and then, because I'm fickle like that, I'll end up buying merch. Funny enough, this Pikachu plush is from that era. This Pikachu plush is a 2016 plushie, 15, 16, somewhere in there. I bought this plushie, I want to say again, from GameStop or something back in the day. And I had it along with a whole ton of other plushies and figures and things like that. And then when I cleaned out some years ago, I gave it to my sister, and it's been sitting on a shelf in her bedroom for 10 years, just about. And she recently went to clean out and get rid of a bunch of stuff. And I was like, "You're not going to get rid of that Pikachu, are you?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "I will take that, thank you." So I got the Pikachu, and now he's going to be our chair buddy from now on. Yeah, I used to go crazy for, I don't know, something. There's still a kid in me, you know. I'm over 40 years old now, and I still go gaga for toys, figures, collectibles, plushies. And the funny thing is, I'm at war with myself over it too. Like, I don't want people to come visit me in my home and say, "Well, look at this enormous man-child." And my friends will all tell me I'm being ridiculous. They're like the stuff you like, it's fine, you're not hurting anybody. But part of me still thinks that past a certain age, I shouldn't walk into your home, and your living room shouldn't just be toys. But then again, there's nothing morally wrong with it. It just, I grew up in a society that says that's not normal. You know what I mean? I'm very torn on it myself. I really am. So while I've made a ton of videos on my channel, like vlogs and stuff, of where I've bought this, that, and the other, this day and age, I try my best to refrain from buying collectibles and figures and toys and things. It's hard to do. As he says, as he's got this whole fucking T-Rex shelf back here. It's hard not to go out and buy everything. I've heard people online theorize, and I say theorize because they're not medical professionals, but I have heard people theorize, you know, that it could be our upbringing, it could be our childhoods, it could be the era that we grew up in, it could be a lot of different things that draw, because like it's a generational thing too. Like it's not just one person, you know, who buys a bunch of plushies and things. It's millennials. Our entire generation is obsessed with merch. And it could be a collective drama or trauma. It could be. It could very well be. I don't know. We were all pretty young when 9/11 happened. You know, we were teenagers when 9/11 happened. And then we went from 9/11 right into war. And it was one war right after the other. And then we went through a bunch of recessions. And we've not lived a super tough life, but we've not lived exactly the easiest life. We didn't have it as easy as our parents did. Well, you know, I say that, but I take that back. I don't think they had it easy either. I have to think about the generation that raised them. But I do from time to time see an ad on Instagram, you know, and it'll be an official advertisement from the Pokemon company or like a Pokemon Center store, like an official one. And I'll say, ooh, I want that and that and that and that and that. But then again, I don't know if you guys have ever looked at the pricing on merchandise from the Pokemon Center. Stupid expensive. Stupid expensive. Don't buy anything at the Pokemon store or Pokemon Center unless you're rich. It's stupid. But yeah, these days I try to use any spare money I have on either games to do these streams, oral stuff, just adult stuff, clothes, whatever. Definitely, it's time for a new wardrobe. I think I own maybe 7 or 8 or 9. I own maybe 10 or under shirts. I don't own a lot of clothes. That's why you guys probably see me wearing a lot of the same shirts over and over and over again, because I'll go through the same lineup of shirts within a week, just about. But yeah. We spent a stupid amount of money on the Pokemon cards, and I think that was kind of the catalyst for my brain of being like, maybe tone it down a little bit. So I would say in the last 10 years, each year I get a little bit better about not just spending a ton of money on, you know, plastic landfill fodder, as I call it. I want to spend all the money in the world on that, but I've slowly taught myself, you know, not to do that. Not to be that big fat douchebag. I think we might raise this Clefairy. What do you guys think? Are you guys feeling Clefairy? Oh. Not sand attack. Damn, I don't have anything that can really do a lot of damage to... Yeah. We gotta evolve that Magikarp because we have a severe lack of grass and water on the team. Why did Ember do so much to a Sandshrew? That's crazy. Metal Claw. Metal Claw must be terribly weak. It never does any damage. It doesn't do damage worth a damn. Nidoran. Oh. Nighty night, friendo. Okay. Who are we going to use against Nidoran? I guess Charmeleon. Snoozing like Susan. Ah, you did not stay asleep for long, did you? Crit! Jesus. All this switching out with Clefairy and it hasn't leveled up once. Jigglypuff. Even though we're Clefairy Puff. Bum, 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 bum. Bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Camper Ethan. Ah, we can't put it to sleep. Ooh. Jesus! Fuck you, Mankey. How dare you? I'm getting all these messages while I'm trying to stream. Sorry, getting distracted. Smacked. Now we deal with this jerk face. We won a free nugget. By the way, how would you like to join Team Rocket? We're a group of professional criminals. We're a group of professional criminals specializing in Pokemon. Want to join? Sure? Come on, join us. I'm telling you to join. Okay, you need convincing. I'll make you an offer you can't refuse. And then he sends out like a fucking Rattata. Ekans! Actually, you know what? Can I put Ekans to sleep? believe you took out my Pidgey, you sumbitch. I had the type advantage too. My Pokemon are terribly weak. What did I do for my Pokemon to be so damn weak? Where's the misstep? We came through Mount Moon. I don't get it. Oh, Jesus. I should just be using quick attack. Bum, 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 bum. And Ekans is down. Clefairy is up. A Zubat. This is going to be easy. No, not the Confusals. When we were kids, and we were playing through Gold and Silver for the first time, and we got to Mount Silver and started, you know, poking around and defeating really high-level Pokemon and exploring the cave. Never in a million years, when I got to the top of that mountain, did I think I would find Pokemon Trainer Red just standing there, waiting. That was one of, if not the greatest moments in gaming for me of all time. I know there are like a million video games out there with extremely good stories and plot twists, and I get it. I get it. But you don't understand child me, you know, coming across a protagonist from the prequel game in the sequel game as the ending game boss. And again, I'm sure that might have happened a million times in RPGs. I don't know. I don't play RPGs. But for me, it was huge. Because back then, we didn't know, again, this is pre-Ruby and Sapphire. So there was a lot of things about Pokemon we didn't know. We didn't know that Kanto, we didn't know the name Kanto or Johto. We didn't know the region names. We didn't know there were regions. Except for I don't even know if the anime specifically said Kanto until years later. I didn't know that Kanto and Johto were based off of real places in Japan. I didn't know there was actually a real Kanto in Japan. What else did I not know? We didn't know any of the official names of the Pokemon trainers. We didn't know Red's name was Red. We didn't know Green or /Blue's name was Green/Blue. I didn't know Ethan's name was Ethan in Gold and Silver. Like, those were things we just didn't know because the franchise was brand new. I had no way of knowing that shit. Because when you're a kid, you've never heard anybody named Red before. People aren't named after colors. It's ridiculous. And then later, I would find out years later, Red is actually a very popular name. There was Red on that 70s show. Wasn't there a man named Red in Sanford and Son, or is that just the name of the actor? I can't remember. But yeah, apparently Red is a name. Some people use it as a nickname. Some people are actually just named Red. Also, this is how you did the Mew. That was another thing. Like, Mew was not supposed to be in Pokemon Red and Blue. The programmer slipped it in last minute as a super duper Easter egg secret that even nobody even there knew about. Like, Nintendo didn't know about it either. So one of the things you did is you would walk over here and time pressing your menu button with this guy spotting you. And if you timed it right, you could use your Abra. If you would have to go catch Abra, you would use Abra to teleport you back to the Pokemon Center. Then you would go fight one of the guys on this route up here, and he would have a Slowpoke. After you defeat that Slowpoke, teleport back to the Pokemon Center again. Then as soon as you enter this route, a Mew encounter would ensue out of clear blue sky. Now, I don't think that was set up that way on purpose by the developer. It could have just been a happy accident. I don't know. I also don't know how people find these things in video games. It's insanity to me, the way that people find these things. I don't know how people figure that out. They had to have used some sort of program or something to figure that. I don't fucking know. It's wild. This goddamn rat. But, yeah, we didn't know the names of the protagonists, so when I, fought Red, I was like, wow. And we also didn't, since Pokemon is designed for the player to use, other than their starter, whatever Pokemon they catch in the wild, everybody's team is going to be mostly different. There's overlap, I'm sure. There's enough people statistically playing this game on Earth. But my point is, Pokemon offers so many characters for you to put on your team that we didn't... It was shocking to see Red using all 3 starters for one. Because we couldn't get all 3 starters. And then it was shocking to see him use a Pikachu instead of a Raichu. It was just a moment. It was a damn moment. And I don't remember how I found out Red was there. I don't think I found him by myself. I think Tyler told me. It's been 30 years just about. Almost, not quite. It's almost been 30 years. So I don't really remember for 100%, but I want to say Tyler told me he was there. Now, that's when Kid Me hauled ass up that mountain to find him. I could be remembering that incorrectly, but I want to say that's how that went down. But just imagine being a kid. You're playing around in Mount Silver. You think it's just another mountain area. And then you stumble up there and you find Red. Now, in the original Red, or the original Gold and Silver and Crystal, he's inside the cave. Heart Gold and Soul Silver changes it up a little bit. He's actually on the peak of the mountain, so he's outside and it's snowing. So when you battle Red, there's a constant hailstorm chipping away at your Pokemon and his Pokemon at the same time. Oh. You goddamn bitch. I hate trying to catch Abra. How come he gets to go first? No fear. No fear. Fine. I'll catch an Oddish. I think I need Oddish. I can't get Oddish and Leaf Green, right? So I gotta catch one anyway. God damn it. Fuck this noise. You're missing too much, Clefairy. You're pissing me off. I need to Google and see when is a good time to evolve Clefairy too, because if you evolve Pokemon too soon, they won't learn attacks. Smack. Perfect. Now we catch. Its scientific name is Odium wanderus. At night, it is said to walk nearly 1,000 feet on its 2 roots. Hold on a minute. So Pokemon have scientific names? Really? I did not know that. I want to know what the Japanese version of this says. Because don't we scientifically name things using Latin? If I'm not mistaken, right? Audium wondrous. I'll be goddamned. Now I want to know the scientific name for all 1,000 Pokemon. That blows my mind. We'll never catch Abra. Never. How am I still getting fucking messages? Ah! Fuck off, I paid you today. They're like, you're behind on your cable bill. No, we're not. We paid the internet today. You can get wrecked. Check your records. Okay. Still not ready to fight Misty yet, though. Tell you what I'd like to do, if I'm being completely honest. Because we raise a Pikachu and a Raichu every time I play a Pokemon game. I know it's supposed to be the mascot for this franchise and everything, but I kind of low-key want to box this bitch and use other Pokemon. I think that's what I'm going to do. Although, I do need Pikachu to use Flash. I think we're going to try to make Oddish work. Because we could teach, maybe we could teach Flash to Puffly over here. Clefairy, I couldn't remember your name. Yeah, we could raise an Oddish. I don't see why not. Any objections, lady? Boop, bop, beep, boop, bop, beep, boop. Beep, bop, beep, bop, boop, beep, bop. Damn, our Pokemon are weak. Yes, they are weak. Need to train them up. While I happen to be thinking about this, every little bit helps. We'll get Tackle. In a one more level, we'll get Tackle. Hey, we can sell that Nugget. Minute in an air. Sell. Yeah. And this star piece, actually. I didn't even know I had that. I'll be damned. Wow, I can afford to buy 59 Pokemon, but don't mind if I do. They didn't give out Premier Balls yet. I want to say that was a Gen 4 thing. But I don't have my bike yet. Touch a berry. Touch a berry. Abry. Go Clefairy. Watch it get to go before me. Fuck off, I guess. Stupid teleport. With your stupid no good teleporting bitch ass. This is pre-fairy type too. Fairy type was Gen 6. So Clefairy at this point was still normal type. Fun. Whoa. Oh. Also, I don't know which generation they fixed Gust in, but Gust from the get-go was messed up. It was a normal attack instead of a flying attack. Let's see if they fixed it. Okay, they had fixed it by now. Sweet. Yeah, red and blue Gust was just normal. It was an oversight, methinks. Magic, magic, magic. But going back to what we were talking about earlier, I've always had a desk. Even when I was a real little kid, I always had a desk in my room. I don't know why. I asked my parents. But over the years, I've always been on the search, always looking for that perfect desk ornament, that perfect whatnot, that perfect something that just accentuates my entire room, brings it all together. And I've bought, I don't know how many toys and figures and displays over the year, and I'm never happy. I'm happy at first. They look good for a hot minute, but then they don't hit right. Nothing I've ever owned has hit just right. I do have a few things that have gotten close, but one day I will find that perfect thing that has me, stopped me from looking for stuff to go on my desk. The oldest thing that I think I have is my T-Rex from the Popo company. It's a French company that made these. It's rubber. It's heavy as shit. Mouth opens. It's extremely detailed for what it was. I think they make better figures this day and age, but I bought this in 2007, I think. So I've had this particular same physical figure for 20 years. This is a he, it's green, has sat on my desk for 20 years and has been my most prominent thing that makes me feel good when I'm sitting at my desk. Since then, I've added little things here and there. I want to say, other than the Rex, the only thing else that I have on my desk that really warms my heart with the fuzzies when I look at it. Who am I fighting? Hold on. Rattata. I'm just going to let you fight. The only other thing that I would grab and run out of the house with, other than the T-Rex if my house was on fire, has to be my mushroom Minecraft cow. I would grab these two things before I grab anything off that shelf back there. These are my two things. Because I've had that T-Rex, like I said, since around 2006, 2007. So the same physical one too. I've not had to replace it. But I like my desk the way it is now. There's not too much stuff on it. It's just right. Like, even when we go on that trip next week, I'm not looking to bring anything back other than what I take with me. Like, I'm not doing souvenirs. I'm not looking for stuff. I will make an exception if I find a magnet for the fridge or an enamel pin for the collection, bulletin board collection. That's it. That's the two exceptions I will make. I'm not going down there to souvenir hunt. I did that already. We're not doing it again. But yeah, I'm as susceptible as any of my peers from my generation when it comes to merch and not stopping myself from buying stuff. But I think getting out of the Pokemon TCG at the time I did was the perfect time, because that's about when the scalping really started and started to get really, really bad. eBay was blowing up, and then it became Facebook Marketplace, and then it became those other apps that I've heard people mention that I can't remember their names of. It got so completely out of hand. What's funny is Pokemon has always been more about selling the merch than it has the games or anything else. Like, the merch is what sells the most. I was watching a video earlier today that told me that they actually lose money producing the anime. I didn't know that. The anime is like somebody laid out their whole business model in that video, and I was really shocked at the way that it worked. I had it all wrong. So apparently the anime helps push the sales of the games. The games produce new characters and scenarios and locations to make new merch. The merch is the key thing that floats their income and their money, because they don't put out a game every year, but they put out merch daily. There's new merch like every week. Plushies, pins, book bags, thermoses, you name it. If they can slap the Pokemon logo on it, they're going to. So they've kind of got like this perfect circle of monetization going with the IP. And I just found that to be a very fascinating video. I had no earthly idea that they actually producing the anime loses them money. And I did not know that. That was the biggest shocker of that video. If any of that's true. Again, I watched a YouTube video. The guy could have been completely full of shit. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I heard in the video. You'll have to double check all that yourself if you think that sounds fishy. But, because it may just be for the current anime. I don't even know if the video didn't say if that's the way it's always been. They just said that's the way it is at the moment. So I don't know. I have no way of knowing. Here's the Slowpoke guy. This is the guy you would come fight after using teleport earlier to trigger the Mew thing. It doesn't exist in FireRed and Leaf Green. You have to do it in the original Red and Blue. God damn it. Maybe we should use Scratch. The good thing is Charmeleon will eventually learn Slash, which will kind of be our go-to. Yeah, Scratch did nothing. Okay. Mega Punch, maybe? That is such a cool animation. But it didn't do anything. God damn it. Not water good! Damn. Damn, damn, damn. Ba, 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 ba. You can use water gun on Oddish. Good luck with that. You have to admit, it is a pretty interesting cycle. They put the anime on. The anime sells the games. The games sell the merch. The merch produces the anime and turns the cycle again. I couldn't tell you. I don't know how it works for other companies and other famous brands. I don't even know what would be considered the most famous brand anymore outside of Pokemon. Like, let's put a pin in Pokemon. Let's forget about it for a moment. What are some of the more lately in the past year or two? Bluey, fucking Bluey everywhere. That cartoon dog. I can't get away from that fucking thing. It's in every goddamn store I go to. I don't know what it was before Bluey. Does anybody even give a flying fuck about Disney or Warner Brothers anymore? Because like that was the thing when I was a kid in the 90s. It was like Disney had a monopoly on everything. No matter where you went, no matter what you did, it was always Disney, 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 Disney. Their television block was dominating. CBS had become a station for old people because it used to be CBS, and then CBS fell off and it became ABC. And Warner Brothers and ABC fought vehemently for your attention. WB had a lot of shows for young people, in Dawson's Creek and all that stuff in the 90s. And then the WB had the Pokemon animation and cartoons and stuff. Of course, the WB had to fight early on with the Fox Kids network. And then ABC had the TGIF lineup in the 90s. Everything from Family Matters / Urkel to Step by Step, Sabrina, Full House, Boy Meets World, Home Improvement. Disney dominated. NBC had Seinfeld, Friends, and ER, and that was about it. So yeah, when I was a kid in the 90s, Disney had a real chokehold on merchandising. Everywhere you went, like Disney's main cast of characters was slapped on everything. Donald Duck, Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, those characters were plastered on everything everywhere you went in the 90s. Nowadays, when I go somewhere, if it's not Pokemon plastered on something, it's Bluey or whatever's popular at the moment. But Pokemon over the years has surprisingly had a strong staying power. Because even as we age up, I would have been, let's see, Pokemon came out in the States 98. How old was I in 1998? Let's see, I'd have been 10 in 94, 95, 96, 97. I was 14 in 1998. So when Pokemon came out in Japan in 96, I would have been 12. I can math in my head. No, not 12. Wait. 84 to 94 is 10. 95, 96. Yeah, I'd been 12 years old when Pokemon came out in Japan. I'd have been 14 when it came. I'd have been about 14ish when it came out here in the States. So yeah, in 1998, I'd have been around 14 years old. So I was slightly, just a hair over the demographic if the demographic is driving towards 10-year-olds. But I was always a very immature child anyway. So I liked toys and things long after it was appropriate for me to like them. So that doesn't matter to me. I was still very much part of the target demographic. Fuck, who am I fighting? I'm talking and not paying attention. We better go Charmeleon. Well, I could probably get away with using Pidgey. We'll try to use Pidgey. Gotta send a text. But yeah, now I forgot why I brought all this up. There was an original point that I now can't remember how to circle back around to. Fuck. Oh. So I don't know what the business model would have been for things like Disney in the 90s. Because at the time, the Disney Channel hadn't hit that real stride yet. It wasn't, because the Disney Channel hit the peak of its popularity with its live action shows like Hannah Montana and stuff. I I was a full-ass, grown-ass adult by then. I had to have been in my 20s by the time that came out, I think. I don't know what year that came out, but I had to be a full-ass, grown-ass man. Which, why I've never seen those shows. But when I was a kid, Disney Channel ran a lot of cartoons. They didn't really do live action. So I couldn't tell you what the business model was for Disney back then. If they followed the same circular pattern that Pokemon does, then it's no surprise to me that they made the money that they made. I don't know. It's one of the reasons I never watched SpongeBob or got into that. Anything like, by the time, because every one of those stations had eras, you know, and by the time Nickelodeon had dropped stuff like Ren and Stimpy and Doug had finished and the Rugrats had finished, I was an adult when all that stuff finally wrapped up. So I wasn't watching cartoons as much. If I did watch a cartoon, it's going to be Pokemon or something related to video games at that point. I wasn't going to sit down and watch a cartoon just because if it was a cartoon. I'd moved on to shows. So I missed an entire generation of shows that everybody else seems to be super fucking enamored with. Because at that point, I was just sitting around watching like Simpsons and Family Guy and Futurama and stuff. I wasn't watching kiddie cartoons. Fuck. I'm gonna go back. I know we're only a train or two away from being done with this route, but I'm gonna go heal anyway. I don't know how far Pokemon's gonna go. I can really only attest to how far it's been, how far it's come. At their current business model, I think unless they start shaping up, they're going to be forced to ship out. Because here's the thing. Younger generations don't really seem to be giving a flying shit about Pokemon. They're too busy with their fucking little TikTok bullshit. And the Pokemon games are getting progressively worse. And people like me who've grown up with it are starting to get sick of it. And unless they do something to start bringing in new fans as well as holding the attention of the old, you're going to be in trouble. You better do something. Which, that Winds and Waves trailer looked amazing. I honestly think that they may dig themselves out of a hole with that game. I think they might be able to pick themselves back up. Because at this point, nobody's fiddling with the TCG. Nobody's playing the apps. And damn it, I used Sing twice in a row. Nobody's really playing the games. Like, I know a lot of people who used to be into Pokemon that can't be bothered anymore. You know? And like I said, Gen Z doesn't seem to be as enamored with it as millennials. We grew up with it. They did not. They can't be bothered, apparently. I think Pokemon will eventually go. I think not just Pokemon, but I think Nintendo franchises, Mario, Donkey Kong, all them. I definitely think they were lightning in a bottle, and I think that they're not going to carry over as strong into the next generation. I think that that's a barrier that is hard to overcome. And I think that other companies have also had that same hurdle in the past. Warner Brothers and Disney being the two most notable examples that I have to give. Because the generation that grew up with the original Mickey Mouse is dead. Same for Bugs Bunny. The original people who grew up with that stuff when it's new are long dead. You're talking 1930s and 40s and 50s. Those people are dead. So you're 3-4 generations later-ish at best. I don't know anybody that really talks about Bugs Bunny. I never hear anybody talk about Bugs Bunny. Ever. I don't hear anybody talk about Mickey Mouse for that much. I just don't. Anytime I ever hear strangers talk about something that's like a cartoon mascot, Mario, Pikachu, that's it. Pokemon, or Mario. Sonic, maybe. No. Never do I hear shit about Disney or Warner Brothers. Ever. Now, again, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm not saying that they're not really popular. I'm not saying that they don't have huge fan bases. What I'm saying is, on average, when I go out into the world, I'm seeing bumper stickers of Pokemon. I'm seeing plushies of Pokemon. I have not seen a Bugs Bunny since I was a fucking child. When I was a kid, you want to know what was popular? Those Yosemite Sam mud flaps. They used to be on the back of so many trucks when I was a kid. You know what I see on the back of trucks now? Plain, black, naked mud flaps. Or company names. I don't... No. So when people like me age up, and I'm 68 years old sitting here, paying my Pokemon, ain't gonna be making the money anymore than it makes now. Let me just put it that way. So you guys had better enjoy it while you still can. Because everything has an expiration date. Everything has an expiration date. The universe has an expiration date. I'm sorry if that was a downer thing to say. I'm not wrong. I mean, I get it. Like, I'm often wrong about a lot of stuff. I'm not wrong about this. I've had decades to think about this. I have spent years of my life consuming media to an unhealthy level. So I've spent more time in front of a screen than I have anywhere else. Outside, in a car. Start switching back out the magic card. Oh, I lost all my viewers after that. Ah, did I get too real? Did I get high and mighty? Fucking people who watch live streams are fickle as fuck. I've noticed that. In all the years I've been streaming on Twitch, they do it on YouTube too, but it used to be a problem on Twitch. I'd look down and see, oh, I have X amount of viewers. I'd say one thing, and all of a sudden, poof, everybody would get butthurt and run away. Fine. Being able to freely say what I want to say is so much more important to me than like holding an audience's attention. I'm sorry. It just is. I had 3, now I'm down to 1. And that 1 is probably me because I watch my own stream to make sure that it's still going. Fuck 'em. Seconds, huh? You could just get Magikarp up 1 more level. It'll have tackle. It won't be great, but it'll be something. Let's see. Get Pidgey to evolve as well. I think Pidgey evolves at level 18. I think it's 18. Can I attack now? Thank you. Bitch. I've done like 3 streams today. I have talked myself out. And I got to do like 3 or 4 streams tomorrow. I'm building a back catalog of episodes to go up while I'm away. What item have you left behind? Who's poisoned? Pidge? Poor little Pidge. Boy, they've really been picking on Pidgey today. He's had a hard time, or she's had a hard time. You know what, buddy? I'm sorry. I'm sorry you've been going through it today, Pidgey. I'll see if I can't do better by you. Have anything to... I do. Oh, yeah. Magikarp can't learn any TM. Then fuck it. Pidgey it is. All my other Pokemon are boys. And it never works teaching a track to a boy. It just... For whatever reason, the majority of Pokemon are always boys. You're going to want to teach a track to a female Pokemon. Ekans Smeckans Heckans, the Heckans Ekans. Oh, why am I trying to run? What am I doing? Eric, focus. I got lost in thought. I can't do two things at once. I'm starting to get a little tired. Been a long day. That ought to slow your roll. Get him! Ha 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 ha. Ooh, crit hit. Sand shrew. Well, we actually have a Pokemon now that gets us out of a rut if we come across ground or rock. We didn't have to wait on Magikarp to evolve to get there. I like Oddish. I think Oddish is cool. Ooh. Berry. Oh, I see another berry spot up there too. I better get that after we battle face here. Why are they always presenting their ass? Hoivites made this game. Gus, that's what I'm looking for. Can't wait till we have Fly. Teach you young whipper-mappers a thing or two. Whipper-nappers. Whipper-snappers. Snipper-snappers. Whipper-whappers. Pidgey. Well, first I got to send out Carp. Then I'll switch with you. Smackle. Use smackle attack. Smack attack. Who are we using? I wasn't reading. Whatish. Man. Lord, it feels like I've been here 5 hours. Yeah, I'm done today after this stream. I still got a lot of shit to do today, too, before I can even sit down. I'm starting to get exhausted. Imagine if I did like 3 streams every day. Bluckberry? The fuck is a Bluckberry? Hiya, I'm a Pokemon. No, I'm not. Call me Bill. I'm a true blue Pokemaniac. Hey, what's with that skeptical look? I'm not joshing you, pal. I screwed up an experiment and got combined with a Pokemon. So how about it? Help me out here. Yeah, see, in the anime, it was he got stuck in a Pokemon suit and needed somebody to unzip it. Where in the games, he actually, it was the fly situation. Jeff Goldblum's going to come out of there. Pokemon finds a way. SS ticket. Yeah, see, in this game, it's just the SS. Oh, no, I guess it is the SSN. Never mind. I always wonder why I call it the Saint Anne instead of SSN. I don't know why that's always been in my vocabulary, but ever since I was a kid, maybe the anime called it Saint Anne. I don't remember, but it's clearly the SSN. Eevee! Flareon. Jolteon. Vaporeon. I tell you, the weird thing is, with Pokemon, the originals specifically, because there was no breeding in red and blue, you had to play through these games 3 times, or at least start a save file 3 different times to get Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. And FireRed and Leaf Green made it worse. If you wanted to complete the Pokedex or create a living dex, because here's what you had to get Raikou, Entei, and Suicune, you had to have 3 save files between the 2 games. I would have done things differently, but whatever. Game Freak's never exactly been the sharpest tool in the shed. We're going to save and wrap things up here for today. I don't know. Maybe now that we have Oddish, we might be able to take down Starmie. Wow. Brain. Somebody else around here is not the sharpest tool in the shed either. But at least my stupidity doesn't affect millions of people. Alrighty, well, that's going to be it for today's episode of Pokemon FireRed. 30th franchise 30th anniversary special stream edition. I've done like 3 streams today, plus a recording. Today I recorded the finale for the Metroid manga. If you guys haven't been reading that, go check it out. It's real fun. But I'm going to head off. Thank you guys for being here. I greatly appreciate you. See you, folks.